How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My goodness, Paolo Banchero whipped the hell out of my Pacers. It was a ridiculous performance, and I'm thankfully not so emotionally attached to the Pacers these days that I could really appreciate a special 50 ball, near triple double, 10 rebounds, I think 9 assists, a couple blocks, 70-ish true shooting. Let's break down this 50 ball. This is going to be a long single game performance review just because it's 50 points. And the most important thing is the manner in which they came. And we're going to start with a little mid-range jumper. Paolo just shooting over Pascal, who the Pacers just do not have defenders to match Paolo. Like, Pascal is long and tall, but doesn't have much strength or explosion at this point, and his defensive effort isn't always on point, so Paolo can just kind of rise over him. His mid-range has been inconsistent throughout his career, but it is such a weapon when it's falling, and I love using Paolo as a roller with Siakam on him. Finishes strong, Euro step there. Just another good job by the Magic involving two of their better offensive players. Suggs gets Nembhard downhill. Pascal is not really a drop defender, right? This is not something that he's good at, but he does it right there onto Paolo Banchero, who just kind of goes right around him, floats it up. That's a tough shot, but it would be indicative of the night that was to come for Paolo. And you just kind of started to feel it early when all of these shots were going in from the mid-range. I promise it's not going to be all mid-range jumpers if you know as you watch this game, but again, Miles is giving him space because he knows that Paolo can drive right through him. Miles is a really poor isolation defender at this point in his career. Unfortunately, he really struggles against big, strong, tall guys. And Paolo's passing is excellent. It seems maybe a little snappier processing-wise this year. Just a good job here attacking the closeout, being patient, kicking out to Suggs. And I really just wanted to highlight Suggs, too, who I think hit 5 or 6 threes in this game. He was flame-throwing, playing really confident on the offensive end. Just really liked how Suggs was playing. But, man, this is what we're here for. Paolo, the grown man strength. My big complaint with Paolo over the past years has been his unwillingness to impose his physicality. He loves, scoop craft finishes and early pickups and stuff, and his free throw numbers, his finishing numbers, his rim volume numbers just haven't been nearly as good as they should be. But this year, they are quite good. Obviously, we're only talking about one, 4-game sample, but 97th percentile rim volume. Not finishing, still not the greatest, but the fact that he's getting there is really, really nice, and especially if we compare it to last year's stats right there. He was still putting up a lot of these he was still putting up a lot of shots at the rim, but it has definitely gone up, and it's a good trend to see, and we're hopefully going to continue to see it. But yeah, Paolo Banchero, no match. Absolutely no match in transition for Pascal Siakam, or Pascal Siakam is no match for, you know what I mean. Pacers tried Obi Toppin switched on him late in the shot clock here. Toppin is not a very good defender, just notably crazy high hips, can't change directions, and Obi knows that. He backs off Paolo, and at this point, Paolo is feeling it. By the way, we're still barely halfway into the quarter, and Paolo isn't going to make all of these shots, but the fact that he's willing to take these threes, and I think he hit 3 threes tonight. He took 8 of them, or actually, I think he took 9 threes, but point being, good for him to be aggressive, and then he gets the ball off of his own rebound, goes straight downhill, and he shot 22 free throws in this game, which is ridiculous, and I think a great thing. His free throw rate is up to almost 60 from 40 last year's ratio of free throw attempts to field goal attempts, and I love this. Immediately notices he has Ben Shepherd on him. Great pump fake to kind of move Obi away. He's like, I've got a 6'5" wing on me. I'm just going to go through his chest, spin move, pump fake, draw a foul. He didn't make a ton of his free throws, or I think he was 68% from the line. Oh my lord, Isaiah Jackson. Big shout out to him, by the way. He was cooking for the Pacers because Miles was really struggling in foul trouble. He was a positive force, and I just love this pass from Paolo, zipping it down to his boy, Wendell Carter Jr. Still in the first quarter. We're going to be in the first quarter for a little while. Again, the Pacers try Obi, which I just don't really understand. And holy shit. I don't even know. I don't understand what the Pacers are really doing here. I have a lot of questions about their defensive scheme, especially this lineup too. I don't know. I really don't know. about not having like Neesmith or someone else out there. But Obi Toppin cannot get through screens, and Isaiah Jackson's a nice defender, but like just grown man strength, Paolo throws him off, and sometimes that's what the superstars do, and that's what Paolo looked like in this game. A bona fide superstar, largely for how easy he made it look. Like, it looks like Paolo's just men among boys, right? He's destroying a bunch of underqualified players. Just hits that beautiful fadeaway there over Obi Toppin, and it was clearly just one of those nights where, like, all of the shots were going to fall. I think he had 19 or 17 or 19 just in the first quarter, as you can see, still in the first quarter. Do not know why they're still giving him space, and we'll notice something here. The Pacers notoriously under Rick Carlisle do not like to double team. They scram Ben Shepherd out, right, and have Obi Toppin sit there. Why not just have Ben Shepherd sit there? Paolo already has like 16 points in one quarter. You're going to probably need to try to get the ball out of his hands, especially when the Magic don't have a ton of ball handling and creation outside of Banchero. But no, they're just going to let Obi Toppin sit one-on-one. And the Pacers' lack of willingness to double team and just the constant miscommunications on defense was maddening to watch as a Pacers fan. Like, really, really poor on that end. It was a great Paolo performance. I don't want to take anything away from him, but the Pacers made it a little easier. Like, Suggs setting a screen, to kind of invert these defensive roles. Miles and Ben Shepherd do not really seem to know what they're doing. And then Paolo isolates, skips out to Franz. Like, it was not a banner performance from the Pacers, who have looked quite off to begin this season, unfortunately. Finally, in the second quarter, we think we've been for a little bit. And again, Paolo just isolating, hang dribble, hesitation. Like, Pascal needs to be up in his grill more. Like, the Pacers defenders are just letting Paolo dribble and dribble and dribble in their faces. And they should not be doing that given the kind of day that he's been having. They really should have started sending help plays ago, but they're still just letting their guys go one-on-one, and I don't really know what exactly is going here. They're trying to hedge out in early offense with Halliburton. Magic doing a really good job running these like early offense drag screens with the guard and Paolo to confuse the defense and to, they want to have Siakam on Paolo, right? Halliburton hedges out, but he like half-asses it, and Siakam isn't working back into the play. Like, defensive reputations are sticky, right? Everyone knows Halliburton's a bad defender. I feel like people don't give Siakam enough credit, or I guess not credit, for the kind of defender he is now. Like, he is checked out on defense way too often for my liking. It's been this way for the last year at least that I've, definitely on the Pacers, and, it's just kind of annoying. Neesmith was definitely the best Paolo defender today. It still wasn't like a perfect option, but Neesmith, while being a lot shorter, has the best combination of movement skills. Look how fluid he is, stopping on a dime. He can change directions, and he's really physical too. Like, Pascal and, Obi Toppin don't want to like bump and bang with Paolo, right? Neesmith is willing to do that, and like Shepherd is willing to do that too, and Nembhard are willing to do that, but they're just too small. And man, another shout out, Jalen Suggs. Made basket, right? Launching down to Paolo, who is kind of cherry picking, but great heads up play there by Jalen Suggs. Hey, we're still mid-late second quarter, and yeah, this is just another one of many miscommunications by the Pacers. Aaron Neesmith gets totally flattened by this screen. Oh my goodness. Maybe an offensive foul. I think you could probably make a case for that, but like, they have quite a bit of time, and Miles is telling Pascal to pick up, and Pascal's telling Miles to pick up, and it's a disaster, right? The communication is inexcusably bad at this point, and it's nothing so new for the Pacers, but they definitely did clean it up more, and oh my god, Paolo's hitting movement threes now. Like, this is insane. This is not something Paolo Banchero has ever really done. Working these like spaced out flare screens, catches the ball, shoots a kind of contested-ish movement three, but like, look how big and tall he is. Like, this is barely a contest from Neesmith, and Paolo is able to rise over. Just, it really looks easy. It doesn't look like he's trying that hard out there, and he's still putting 50 on their head. And quick defense intermission. Oh my goodness, this one got me out of my chair watching live. Like, Miles meets him at the rim, vertical, forces the miss. Like, oh my lord, Paolo was defending his ass off today too. Like, it wasn't a perfect defensive game, and then he comes back down on the other end, isolates against Nembhard, and yeah, it's just one of those nights, right? Like, Nembhard can stick with him movement-wise, and he's still pretty strong for a guard, but he's just not tall enough to actually impact Paolo's shot at that level. So it presents a big conundrum, right? The Pacers have like one guy in Nesmith who can really guard him, and they open the second half with him guarding as they should have from the beginning instead of Pascal. So credit where credit's due, and Nesmith gets another stop, holds his ground, great verticality there, like shows why he is by far the best defender on this Pacers team right now. It is not Miles Turner anymore. Talk about sticky reputations, and then we have Nembhard again. Nesmith pinching in. So the Pacers started off, and he had a quiet third quarter compared to the crazy 37-point first half. And I think this pressure, like they're finally shading. It's not great, like, but Halliburton's playing hard in the gap so Paolo doesn't drive middle, and Nesmith is digging in, and Miles is rotating. It's a little better than the first half. It's still not anything unbelievable. And I like this counter here from the Magic, going with Paolo as a popper here to try to get Nesmith off of him. Doesn't end up making this three, and I think the Pacers are probably fine with him taking these given the way he's killed them on the interior. So they're kind of going to live with that. But, Nesmith is not like equipped to defend and drop or pop big. So that's a nice counter that the Magic went to that they're definitely going to go with again. Hey, there's a Siakam defensive play. Just, I figured it was only fair to include a turnover or two in here. This is like, God, if Siakam just did this like 30% more, I would be okay. Given like he was the Pacers' only consistent offensive option. Like he earned a little defensive lapsing in this one. Like he was their only source of creation consistently throughout the game. But anyways, this was a funny play. Paolo tries to lob it up, then drops it down to Wendell Carter. Just like very good passing awareness. Not perfect. He missed one like pretty open skip pass that I don't think I included in this video in this game. Somewhere in the third quarter to Jet Howard. I remember watching it, but didn't get the clip. And again, we see another good Aaron Nesmith possession. He ends up fouling here at the end. I don't know if is this a foul? Yeah, I think that's a foul. I mean, it's like a light foul, but point being, Nesmith continues to show that he's the best option to guard Paolo. Sticks through this pretty hard Wagner screen, stays in front, pokes the ball away. Like this is the pressure we need to be applying against Paolo. And then, free throws, whatever, but I think that was largely a positive rep from Nesmith, who ended up fouling out just because at some end. And another defense intermission. Halliburton is, I don't know what the hell is wrong with Halliburton. His head's all the way up his ass. I need him to get better, please, Hallie. But great job by Paolo here, defense intermission, jumping this skip pass, taking it the other way, passes it down to Wagner, easy dunk, and we're almost in the fourth quarter. We're almost there. Again, we see Nesmith, though, against Paolo being the best option, right? And finally, it took them 3 quarters to start double teaming, right? Jet Howard is a legit shooter. And this actually might have been one of the places I was thinking of. But they're like, we would rather let, soft second year Jet Howard to shoot the 3, and they, keep Nesmith and Shepard there for a second. Then they eventually do back out, but where was this in the first quarter when he was smoking them? Like, I don't know. It really is like maddening how stubborn the Carlisle Pacers can be when it comes to double teaming. And it showed up in this game in a big way. And here's another example of them using Paolo as a screener to get him a favorable matchup. I like the Magic don't run anything crazy complicated on offense, but they're pretty well spaced. Their principles are good. Like, I think they're doing good stuff to just like empower Paolo to be himself and to create. But Paolo starts this as an elbow initiator right here. Ends up you playing as the screener with somehow Obi Toppin gets caught chasing Jalen Suggs here. I think Obi started on Anthony Black. And again, these are like the troubles with the Obi on the wing lineups against this team, right? You need Nesmith on Paolo, so Obi has to guard the wing. I just don't think that was a good lineup combination in this game. But anyways, Paolo is a screener, forces the switch, and yeah, with Obi on Paolo at this point, it's barbecue chicken. Like, there's no disrespect to Obi. Love his game. Enjoy him on offense. He's not checking Paolo Banchero. And this was the moment where Paolo took over and said, I am a superstar. Does not matter if Aaron Nesmith has been guarding me all day. I'm just going to go right through his chest, seal him off, Euro step. I think Nesmith got like an unfortunate elbow there. Yeah, but anyways, Paolo's just... Wendell Carter hit him with the too small. Paolo is just imposing his dominance finally in a way that he hasn't in the past as much. And it's just really great to see Paolo working towards his ceiling. And just the way that he's actively punishing these mismatches, right? This is not like a set play. Just catches the ball, matched up against Ben Shepard, just goes right through him, draws a foul, hits the floater. Obviously, all of his shots were falling, but Paolo is finally like doing the thing that everyone wanted DeAndre Ayton to do. And then the last play here, I think, is one huge Ant Black 3 bucket. Love his game. But look at Paolo's gravity here. Look at all of the defensive attention he draws. Again, they have Siakam on him because Neesmith unfortunately fouled out. I wish they would have tried Jarris a little more in this game, to be perfectly honest. But 3 defenders pretty much zoning in. And again, we see them ghosting Suggs out to force Nembhard to play drop, and he wants to stay in close. Look how tight these defenders are closing in on Paolo, and he still makes a great behind-the-back pass. Suggs makes another extra pass. Ant Black hits the clutch 3. So just a really impressive performance all around by the Magic. And they did this without Franz Wagner, who only played like 10 minutes because of an illness he was battling, I think. But Paolo Banchero is not going to score 50 every game. He's just not. But some of the non-shot making stuff, right? The 22 free throw attempts, the 7 or 8 attempts in the paint. This is what we need from Paolo to get him to the next level. Paolo in the past, right? There's no reason a guy with his level of athleticism and skill and strength and height should be a below average finisher. It just should never happen. And even like a below average foul drawer and rim pressure guy, it just shouldn't happen. It only happens because of Paolo's desire, to take mid-range jumpers and stuff like that. But man, he's really putting his foot on the gas to start this year. It was definitely a lot worse in like the Grizzlies game, who have the bodies to match him in a way the Pacers don't. Don't want to get too carried away, right? It's early season stuff, and I think the Pacers are kind of a uniquely bad matchup just because they have no big wings who can guard, and their front court outside of Isaiah Jackson is cheeks on the defensive end. But like I said, don't want to take this away from Paolo, who I think, yes, Pacers tax a little bit. It made it easier. Their unwillingness to double team, just like watching these plays back, like, why aren't you double teaming already at this point? But yeah, Paolo's a monster. Let me know what you think. I'm rambling. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I love you all.